Mori ore te whānau, welcome into the practice run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your host, Rawiri Tukoerangi, and this gets me every time, and sometimes the brother Vincent. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The practice run, where every listener is an MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
So shout out to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup. So today, Whānau, I feel like we've got a little bit of a fun episode today. This is our first chance we've ever got to review some of the games that were played in the week. And we're not going to review all of them. We're just going to touch on a few of them. I think Tu's going to touch on the Bulldogs game, obviously. I'll cover the Broncos, and I was actually keeping an eye on the Warriors game. For you Warriors fans out there, I'm with you. I'm with you. I hope we see you guys in the grand final. I just hope you don't win it. That's all. So we're going to give a bit of an analysis, and we're also going to give an analysis on the Indigenous All-Star game. Shout out to our Indigenous brothers from across the sea and sisters. They both won. It was a double-header win for those two groups, and yeah, man, they definitely showed why they deserve to win this week. Just gone. So big games to review. We've also got to take a look at the predicted lineups for the Dragons, the Dolphins, the Knights, the Sea Eagles, and the Sharks. So we've got 5 teams, which will leave us 4 more on Thursday. So stay tuned for that, Whānau. But before we get into our fun and activities, there's something that we got to do. There's something we got to do, Whānau. We got to do our annual rock off, our weekly rock off. I'm currently down. I won the first one, lost the next 2. 2's up 2-1. So I need this. So how this goes, Whānau, is we go 1, 2, 3, shoot. We hide our hand below the screen, and then we pull it up with whatever action we've got, be it paper, scissors, or a rock. I'm nervous. I need this one.
You don't need it. You don't really need it.
I need this one, man. I won the inaugural. Now I gotta win. I gotta get back up on the run sheet. It's been what, a whole week?
Yeah.
I haven't had a win last week, so come on, Whānau. I need you to just get behind. Give me the wairua. Do you have anything to say before we kick the show off, my bro?
Nah, not really, man. Let's get this show on the road, eh?
All right.
Hold up.
Do you want to call it 3, 2, 1, shoot?
Nah, you got it. I'm trying to think of what I'm going with.
Yeah, same. All right, here we go.
Trust the gut.
3, 2, 1, shoot. Lift it up.
Oh!
Bruh! Every time. So, Whānau, if you're new here, no one has ever won paper, scissors, rock straight off the bat. And again, we both pull scissors. All right. The synchronicity. We got the team chemistry. It's there. All right. So 3, 2, 1, shoot again. All right, here we go, Whānau. Play along at home. If you beat us, or good on you. No one cares. Nah. 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh, I don't feel good about this at all. No!
So we both went paper.
I did not feel good with that one. I don't like that. I don't like that one.
Oh, bro, I was feeling a bit guilty. I was like, I betcha he ran it back with the scissor. Betcha he ran it back with the scissor.
I thought that's what you were going to do. Like, after I'd already done it, I was like, oh, no.
Yo, I thought you were going to run it with the rock. I feel like we're giving too many tactics here. Now we just need to 1, 2, 3, shoot it.
Just do it, eh? Just do it.
All right. Then. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And up. Bruh. Oh.
Oh, man. All right, no thinking.
So
Just straight into it.
All right. So we both went rock that time, Fano. All right, we've been through a cycle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And up.
Bro.
We are on sync today, Fano.
What are we doing here?
Oh man. So both of us pull paper again. Bro, we need a winner. All right, hurry up. 3, 2, 1.
All right, hurry up.
1, 2, 3, shoot. And up. Yo, let's go.
That's you, man.
All right. So now it's 2 apiece. It's 2 apiece. I got my dub. I'm back up on the run sheet. Sorry about that. Fano took a bit longer than usual. We're going to kick the show off with a game we call A to Z. The most generic and basic name of a game we could ever find. However, this is how it's going to run. So we're going to put 3 minutes on the clock, and Tukuirangi over here has to go through the alphabet, A through to Z, and name as many players as he can with that letter of the alphabet. So, for example, we go A, and he says Aquilu Uate. Boom. That's A done. And then go B, and if he goes past, we'll come back to it. So he's got 3 minutes to get through A to Z, and however many players he can get through at the end of the timer, we'll see.
This ain't going to go well.
Any questions before we kick this off?
I don't like this. Does it have to be their first name? Can it be their last name?
No, it has to be first name.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
jeez, I feel a lot of passing's about to happen.
Yeah, so like for when you get to letter O, you can say like Ofahiki Ogden.
He's probably the only one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got another.
The O was pretty hard.
Did they have to be
W
current
was
players?
a fun. No. Past or present.
Oh,
I'm sure you've
that
got
helps
a
me.
goat listed at number at the letter H, so you should be sweet. Let me just bring up my timer real quick. Not an alarm, timer. 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now with the letter A.
Adam Reynolds.
Adam Reynolds, nice. B.
Billy Burns.
Billy Burns. C.
Channel Harris Davida.
Chanel Harris Davida, nice pick. Up the wires. D.
Pass. I've got nothing on the top of my head.
Oh, okay. E.
Pass.
F.
What the fuck? F. Oh, Fletcher Butcher.
All right. G. Surely his initials will give it away.
Greg Inglis. Jesus.
H. Bulldog
H.
legend. Come on now. Point scorer.
Hazem Al Masri.
All right. I.
Isaac Luke.
Nice. Bully. J.
Jonathan Thurston.
Yes, I was going to say another initials guy. K.
Pass. What the fuck?
Okay.
K.
L.
Al.
Vince will be disappointed if you don't get this one.
We can be disappointed. Fuck, I just got a K. Can I go back to a K?
Yeah.
Let me go back. Kevin Locke.
Yeah. Who?
Back
Kevin
to
Love.
L.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, Luke Brooks. Duh.
Yeah, there we go. M.
Matty Johns.
Matty Johns, good pick. N.
Yeah. Nathan Hamash.
Well, I was going to go Cleary, but nice. O.
Oregon Kafusi. I'll go with the other one.
Oh, nice. P.
Petro Seven Siva.
Oh, good pick. 1 minute left. Q.
Oh no, it's Clinton. Pass.
Okay. R.
Oh my God, why is his name eluding me? Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Jesus.
Yes, nice. S.
It's Steve Price.
Nice. T.
Now, you think I would know someone that starts with a T, right? Fuck!
They
Pass.
call him Turbo.
Oh, yeah.
U.
Pass. I'm not wasting my time.
V.
V. Valentine Holmes.
V. Nice. W.
W. Wendell Sailor.
Nice. X.
Xavier Savage?
Sure.
Who's your one? Xavier Williams.
Coates.
Yeah.
Yelene. Oh, why?
Pass.
Yelene Gordon was my one. This time's up. So we
That was
got
terrible.
1, 2, 3, 4,
was
5,
utterly
6,
terrible.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 out of... it's 26 letters in the alphabet, eh?
I would hope so.
Yeah, not
I
bad.
hope so.
So the ones that I had on my list went Aquiliuate, Boyd Cordner, Cameron Smith, Darren Lockyer, Ewan Aiken, Felice Kafusi, G.I. Hazem Al-Masri, Isaiah Yeo, Jonathan Tiersten, Kalyn Ponga, Luke Brooks, not Luke Brooks, Mitchie Moses, Nathan Cleary, Ofahiki Ogden, Paul Gallen, Quinton Pongia, RTS, Scott Prince, Tom Trbojevic, Akuma Tai, Valentine Holmes, Willie Tonga, Xavier Coates, Yelene Gordon, and Zach Hardaker were my A to Z's.
Man, I should have got the T. Did I skip on the D and the E?
Yeah, you skipped the D and the E. That's why I was offended,
Yeah.
man. You skipped Darren.
Oh, my bad, man. Just under pressure. T, D, and E.
Yeah.
Those were 3 ones that I should have gotten. Oh, well.
Yeah, T you could have had, I don't know. Tristan Saylor,
And I was like,
Tom
I think I was
Trbojevic.
Well, if he wasn't injured all the time, I would have known that he was there. Sakes, Tommy. Keep forgetting about you.
Tommy Radonicus. You know? Oh, mate. Missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Let's dive into some of the games from the weekend, eh?
Yeah, well,
So, big games of footy over the weekend. Obviously, preseason ramping up, and the All-Stars game. So we'll start with the Indigenous All-Stars game. We'll not get that out of the way, but look, I just want to put that game behind us. We had a lot of position. We almost had all the position in that game. We just had no strike power to get over the line. And those Indigenous boys, man, they had too much speed on the outside. We're missing a few key players, but hey, both teams were. Both teams didn't field the best team that they possibly could. Considering all the available players, eligible players, that were unavailable. If we had, if we had Jerome Luai, Kalyn Ponga, or Reece Walsh, or if the Indigenous boys had Reece, would have been, just electrifying to watch. But hey, that's how it is, and that's how it rolls sometimes. But do you have any key takeaways from that match? Get into it at all? Just
nah, man. Just got to give credit to the Indigenous boys. Credit where credit's due. They probably deserve the win. I think the boys played too bad, but yeah, like you said, just that lack of polish. Maybe come back to bite them. Yeah, didn't help that it was raining. Fox just does what the Fox does. He got that quick double, and
that put us on the back foot. We got the first try though. Joey Tharp in there over the line. We just didn't have that strike rate, and especially once our starting players went off, we didn't quite have that second unit that you'd really want off the bench. However, that young fella Howarth, he really stepped up, put his hand up, made an impact. He was definitely a memorable player from that game, so I enjoyed watching him. We lacked a fullback. That's what really stood out, I think, was the lack of an actual fullback on the field. I think Jerome Hughes could play fullback, but they kept him at the 6, I think, or the 7, which was kind of an interesting choice. They maybe could have put him at fullback and put Arthurs on the wing, and then put Tamaire Martin in the halves alongside Nikorima. But hey, we're not the coach, we're just observers. Adam Blair-Cuzzy, not the results you wanted, but hey, this is your first time out there coaching the Māori All-Stars game, and you did the best you could with the team you had available. But yeah, just shout out to the Indigenous brothers. They done amazingly. The women, yeah, similar story, man. They were just too good. Their 7, is it Kira? Kira? She was wicked, man. Her kicking game was just on point. And the centre, what was her name? The other centre for the Indigenous girls, yeah, she was carving up too.
She was ripping.
So, yeah, you guys deserve the win, and we'll see you back here next year, whānau, and hopefully they bring it back to Aotearoa, and you never know, you might catch your boys up at that game, ripping the Māoris. Moving on to the second game that we noted, which was the Bulldogs game. I didn't catch that one. I was actually editing the video from last week. So, yeah. Sorry, whānau, missed that one. So why don't you give us a breakdown too, and I'll ask you questions.
I mean, I'll gladly give you a breakdown of the first game of the season, the Bulldogs against the Storm. Obviously, both teams resting quite a few players, but giving the young guns a run. And I was proud of the boys. It was, to be honest, quite a dominant game, I thought. Everyone played really well. We got a few people fighting for spots in the team, and they pretty much all showed up. Bronson Cherry, first game back in 4 years. I thought he was good. A little bit rusty, but he just looks like he's got a bit of class about him, and he's just a natural football player. The battle in the halves between Hutchinson and Toby Sexton was good. I thought Hutchinson and Burdenette, who I'm picking to be in our halves, or who I would have, I thought they played off each other well, but Toby did make a good he was good when he came on too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go with him. Our forward pack, even though we've lost some experience with Luke Thompson and Tevita Pangai Jr. gone, they were really well, quite dominant actually. We managed to keep them down in their half most of the time. We had a lot of attacking sets. I like our players in attack. It still needs a bit of polish, but the ball was swinging side to side. We had Jamin Salmon as our 13 ball playing lock, and he did quite well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Yeah, the Storm were just on the back foot pretty much from the start, and they couldn't quite get a rhythm. But their 2 tries did come off pretty much when they were able to get into red zone. They didn't get there much, maybe 2 times, 3 times, but when they were there, especially in the first half, they got 2 chances and they scored both times. The one just before half of 10 seconds left, it was a scrum middle of the field. The Jonah Peasant went one way, kicked it back to the other way, where Ryan Pappenhausen, he just outran our whole team. Good trick play. Pappy looked good. He looked like he was moving without restriction, so he was out there just playing, not really thinking of everything. Dude's still quick as hell, but yeah, there's not much you can do when you're just pretty much on the back foot and all your first 3 carries are within the 20 and you're kicking it at halfway when you finally get to your 5th and 6th one. Our juniors look good, man. The 9, Bailey, he looked really good. I think his name is, I forget what the halfback is, O'Neill. When he came on, him and Toby did well together, and he got, I think it's Josiah Papali, young fullback. He's been in our team for a little bit, just in I think it's SG Ball they play, or one of them. It's the under 21, and the 3 of them combined for a nice try in that second half, and it just showed that our future is bright. We got kids coming through. Everyone looked good. The only player that had a bad game would be Liam Knight. He might have just played his way out of the starting proposition. And if he has another bad game in the second trial, he might just not even be in at 17 anymore. Overall, happy. I think the Storm will be the Storm come season. They were missing a lot of players. So, yeah, and that notice when their starters went off, it was just a totally different ball game. But yeah, overall, happy. I think Bulldogs fans were pretty happy with what we saw. Yeah, man. That was pretty much the game in a nutshell. We should have won by way more. We botched like 3 tries. So I think it shows that score, even though it was, like 20-something to 12, we really should have put it on them even more. But Yeah, that was pretty much it for the game. Great first up win, something we can build off. Then yeah,
Where do you see Curran fitting in? Because he played a really good game in the Indigenous All-Star game. He was everywhere you needed him to be, making solid plays, awesome defense as well in there. So where do you see him slotting in the next couple of weeks?
from what I've heard, I think they're looking at him to be their ball playing lock at 13. Well, I know that's where quite a few of the fans want him to play. If he's not there, then I'd say he'll probably be on the bench to give either Viliami Kikau or Preston a break, or he'll just come on at that 13. So yeah, his versatility, thinking he's probably going to be vying for that lock spot, but I'll imagine he'll be thereabouts. If he doesn't get the 13, then he's probably coming off the bench to give someone a spell. With his versatility, even Preston can go into the middle, so he can go to an edge, or he goes in the middle, then maybe slides to an edge later on. But yeah.
Me. And one thing that Bellyache always does is he always gives the young fellas a run. He always tries to see who's willing to put their hands up, and he tests their depth in the preseason. So a lot of the starters will generally get quite a good break up until the last preseason game before the season round one kicks off. Normally, and that's what you'd want to do really, is just give as many young fellas a chance to show you why they should get a starting spot or work their way onto the bench. Overall, what would you rate the game out of 5? How many stars are you giving it?
What, as a game to watch?
Yeah. Overall.
Overall, probably give it like, from a Bulldogs perspective, definitely a 4 out of 5. You could definitely tell it's preseason, and I was actually quite surprised how long some of our players stayed on for. Yeah, I thought Burden would only play one half, or maybe not even the full half, but he played about 50 odd, I think. And yeah, so just the minutes that some of them got, I thought we could have pulled it a little bit early. But yeah, preseason, you know how it goes. Got to get your run in, and then let the young bucks do their things, and those ones that are fighting for those spots, keep them out there a little bit longer, see what they can do.
100%. Well, I guess we'll take it over to the Warriors game, because our third co-host, who subsequently isn't here tonight, he's a big fan of this team, and he was the first to share the image of the final score in the group chat. Quite braggadociously, I must add. Vince, if you're listening or if you're watching, brother, don't you ever skite about beating a 12-man team ever again. Don't you ever. So Warriors fans, I'm with you on this one. Despite playing 13 v 12 for 60 odd minutes, minus the yellow card that happened midway through the match for the Tigers, that made it 12 on 12 for 10 minutes of that 60-minute belt. They only won, what was the final score in the end? I think it was 18-16. So the Warriors only were down by 2 points. The Tigers, man, Tigers fans, I'm not trying to shit on you here. You guys have something to look forward to this season. I'm not quite sure if it's top 8, but you've got something to look forward to this season. Whereas the Warriors, keep them wheels turning, baby. Keep them wheels turning. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm still a Broncos fan, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Up the wires. This is your year. This is your year. So you guys didn't have Sean Johnson. You didn't have Adam Fanua-Blake. There were a few others missing from the lineup. So, understandably, you weren't really vying to win. You were just out there to put players in positions to get some run time. The reason for the send-off was Zion Malu with his tackle on Deacon Casey. Shoulder to the head, few mitigating factors. He, I think, is up for a 4-week ban, 5 if he appeals. Yeah. Jeez. However, there are a few mitigating factors. What was his name? Declan Casey had bounced off another tackle, which altered the angle at which Zion was no longer able to pull out. Oh. So there was like less than a split second to connect we wish Declan Casey a speedy recovery. No one wants to see that. He was stretched off the field. It was a hell of a knockout, man. Fair bit of that for Aussie boys over the weekend with Whitaker and Volk. So yeah, hopefully all three of those lads wish them all a speedy recovery. Obviously, all eyes were on the return of RTS Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who racked up 89 run meters in the first half, the most of any other player on their team at that point in the game. Man, his first jam in the centres, he looked good. He looks sharp, man. His defense, he looks like he's bulked up a bit too, coming back from that rugby season. Look, he's just as electric as he was before he left. So I'm excited for this season. Hopefully he has an injury-free season, Warriors fans. You've got a team here. You've really got a team. Bunty R4, he looked great out there as well. Looked like he was at some barnstorming best. So he's, again, trying to play his way back into that squad. What else? So, there was no Capo. Everyone was looking for the return of Capo. Benji, I think, is trying to find some combos that will work because the Tigers they flew over here with all 23 subs. So they were looking to utilise every available man at that club, I guess. And I think Benji's just trying to filter through the team and figure out who clicks. We saw Aiden Caesar's return, and he showed that he's going to be serviceable for the Tigers in the halves there, freeing up Jaden Sullivan to do his thing out there, which is just run freely, let his natural athletic ability take over. My key takeaway from this game is that the Warriors still look good, bar any injuries and some playing up from the boys. I think. I really think you guys are in with a chance. This is I know it's just a preseason game, and it's a loss, but I mean, you guys lost with one less man and only lost by 2 points. And I think the streaker that ran out in like the 70-something minute killed a lot of the momentum and the clock for the Warriors. So, yeah, Christchurch fans, pull your heads in, Pull your heads in. You better sort that shit out by the time the Raiders get down there to play the Warriors, because, hey, Warriors fans, if you want to see them make the playoffs and if you want to see them win a grand final, you can't be running out on the field like that. Just cut it out, Fucking hell. But yeah, look, I'm excited for you Warriors fans. Up the wires. Your jersey sold out in 10 minutes. So you got some passionate fans. I'm still waiting for the Broncos away jersey to get back in stock so I can purchase one of those. They sold out before Christmas. But yeah, great game. Overall, I think it was about a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah.
With any
have you seen any highlights or anything?
Can't say that I did. I don't think I pretty much only caught the Bulldogs, and I may or may not have been out of commission for the rest of the weekend. So yeah, but I did catch a few highlights. But I was going to ask you, were there any standout players for the Tigers? Did they bring out is it the Fainu brothers?
In all honesty, I was only focused on the Warriors. It was a very biased watch. Let me have a look.
Well, I guess we can always ask Vince when he finally makes his grand appearance here. What a guy wants a bar up in the chat. Hasn't spoken in the chat for like months, and then first preseason game, boom.
Yeah, you beat the Warriors by 2 points with 12 players. Come on now. Where does it tell me their lineup?
I'm not too sure.
Oh well, I don't know where it's showing their lineup, but yeah, look, good game. A few key players from the Tigers. Plenty to be looking forward to for your Tigers fans. Just don't expect a top 8. You might surprise people and get a few wins here and there, but I don't think you'll be contending this season. However, next season might be a different story. I think this is going to be a great foundational year for Benji. Where's that teams list? I'm trying to find the teams list from the other from that day, but I can't. The biggest highlight of the game, though, was Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's big tackle, man. He just picked him up, slammed him on his back, and the bro just knocked the ball on. Couldn't handle it. It was a clean tackle, too. Like, it was just a solid rugby tackle. Like, Roger looked like he was about to get over the ball and clear it out.
Did he play? How long did he play?
He played into the second half, but I think maybe only like 5-10 minutes in the second half, and then he was pulled off.
Yeah. Did he roam, or did he just stay on his side?
A little bit of roaming, but for the most part, he was just on his side. He seldom went over the other edge. I think he was just covering fullback for a bit and then bouncing back out.
Okay.
Yeah, but he looks good. And who knows, might be a Dally M season for him in the centre spot there if he doesn't get his points stolen from the other members of his squad, all vying for a Dally M. Over to the other game that I watched this weekend. Well, obviously the other game that we're going to review would have to be the Broncos game. Also, Vince, hey, if you're unhappy with how we reviewed your team, come on the show. Come on the show. So the Broncos game was, I didn't even write the score down.
It was a lot to not a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 40 something. You look up the score and I'll read through my notes. So the Broncos versus the Cowboys, big brother versus little brother. Look, Cowboys fans, I had high hopes for you this season, and maybe it was just an off day. The grass was a bit wet. It was slippery up there in Mackay. But Reece Walsh, electric. He was electrifying. The Rockers just returned to WWE. Well, Reece Walsh has just returned, and he is electrifying. Man, he's the most electrifying man in all of the NRL. If you smell what the Reece is cooking, holy hicka. Look, he's going to give Ponga a real good run for that number 1 jersey come Origin time. And who knows, he might even push his way into the Australian squad this year if he stays healthy and, he just stays at his best, because although he did throw an intercept, I don't know what it is with this kid. He just doesn't let those kind of things faze him. He'll throw an intercept. They scored a try off of that, by the way. But next play, he's going to try and do that exact same move again to free up the space. So that's the sort of risk reward with Reece Walsh, but it pays off more than it doesn't. And I like to spin at the casino from time to time and all in on red or black. So he's a gambler, man. I like to see it. Cobbo at the centres, he looked good. And in the commentary before the game kicked off, the reason for it, Kevy reckons, is because of his defensive prowess. Now, I was skeptical of that because I'm a big Broncos fan, and I watched a lot of his defensive prowess on that wing, and he always shot off early, which left his centres having to cover his position. But maybe that's because he normally plays at fullback or centre, so he'll just be coming off the edge anyway. But yeah, no, look, he really shone. Him and Reece Walsh linking up for the first try of the game in like the first 2 minutes to Corey Oates. So it went Walsh through, I think it went to Reynolds, then it went to Cobbo, then it went to Corey Oates to score in the corner. It's just good to see those Broncos boys, and those away jerseys with the collar look clean. The collar is coming back this season, Fano. The Warriors have it in their heritage jersey, the Broncos on their away jersey. The Broncos defense looks solid this season. The Cowboys managed to score a handful of tries, mostly on the back of Broncos errors. So I'm not too sure how they're going to find some go forth. But again, it's not their full team. I don't think Valentine Holmes was playing. So again, not a team that you can sort of go, oh, that was a true definition of what the Cowboys are. I don't think I saw Tom Lolo out there. I don't think I saw Townsend out there. So still missing quite a few key players. So Cowboys fans, hold tight, watch this space. I think you still got a chance to make the 8. However, yeah, you looked a bit lackluster yesterday. They got a Nigerian prop, or Sycamore, I think it is. Is he Nigerian? No, he's Tanzanian. Sorry, Tanzanian. I think he's the first ever Tanzanian, they were saying on commentary, which is interesting. And we did the Cowboys. I don't think I mentioned him in the Cowboys lineup that we did last week. So yeah, must have skipped that one. Sorry, Cowboys fans. But yeah, look, there's still a bit of hard work to get there, but I think you'll be in with a chance to make the outside eight. My standout player, I think, would have to be Pax or Piakura, with his 2 tries, some menacing runs and stiff defense, but also, what's his name? Tekura, that bloody 6'9", 19-year-old. He made an impact. A lot of people are criticizing him because he's 6'9". They say the bigger he is, the harder they fall, and he has to get a lot lower to tackle everyone, and everyone can just wrap up his legs and he falls over. But hey, look, he's a big, strong machine, and if the Broncos can figure out a way to use him, man, him and Payne Haas are going to be, it'll be world-class wrecking crew, man. They'll be the Twin Towers. So check that out, Fano. But yeah, no, look, great game. I enjoyed that. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. There's still room for improvement. Obviously, a lot of handling errors in that game for the Broncos, from the Broncos' point of view, and the Cowboys, they could use a lot of strike power in the next few weeks. But yeah, 4 stars out of 5, I think, for that game. It was a fun game to watch, and it looked like a muggy afternoon over there in Mackay. It was very wet. The ground was very wet, but it looked hot.
Not bad. I just quickly looked up the score. The score was, a lot to not a lot, 46-20.
There you go. So, Broncos fans, we've got a lot to look forward to this season, but we've got a lot to clean up before we get to the end of the season. So, hey, look, hopefully we can ride that waka and meet the Warriors in the grand final. I forgot to ask you too. Yeah, do you think, based on some of the performance, you guys are a clear chance of making the top 4 or outside 8?
To be honest, I think it would still be hard to crack that 8 just because that was pretty much the Storm's B team. So you just never know. But the signs are there that it looks like at least we've got it better, especially in attack. Our defense was good, but our defense was mainly good in that game because they were coming off their own line, Our defense in the 20s looks a bit suspect. But, so yeah, I don't know. Like, good game, and I think it made Kim and Serrato might have made his job a little bit harder because everyone played so good. So now it's like those ones that are fighting for a spot, they haven't made their job any easier for them to choose who's going to make it. But I think it shows that we have juniors coming through. There's excitement for the future. There's probably a little bit more depth than even I thought we had, which is encouraging. If things go down, people get injured, it looks like we have people that can cover. But again, I think you need like that top-end talent to really challenge, and we got a few players, but maybe it's not enough of it to make a run at it. Yeah, that's what I'd...
Yeah. Hey, look, that's what these seasons are for, right? You got to build your way up. As long as you're confident, you're not going to end up with the wooden spoon. And I feel like talking about the wooden spoon is, you're confident you're not going to get there. You're not going to take up that spoon.
Yeah, after that performance and how the boys seem to be building, I'd like to think I'm a little bit more confident that we're not going to get that wooden spoon. Yeah.
Well, from talking about the heavy hitters at the top of the table to some of the bottom feeders, let's dive into the St George Illawarra Dragons. Yourself and myself talking about the wooden spoon. We'll both dive into this team, and then we'll get into the teams individually. So the Dragons are expected to be this year's wooden spoon team. The question is, can the Dragons prove the naysayers wrong? Now, the TAB doesn't think so. They're paying $126 to take out the grand final this year, which is, it's a lot farner. And look, hey, unless every other team breaks the salary cap, there's no way they're going to win the grand final. Aroha mai. But if you get into their starting 13 and bench, and then maybe we'll hit out at some of the key factors that are helping this team and potentially hindering this team.
Yeah, I can do that. Just let me find it. Oh, here we are. So The predicted lineup for round one. You got Tyrell Sloan at the back, fullback, the youngster. They have Matt Whaingai. I think he's one of the twins, right? At wing, and he's punted up with Michaeli. I don't know. And Michaela Ravalawa, who feels like he's been here for years. Centres, they got Moses Sully and Zach Lomax. That's actually not a bad pairing. Zach Lomax kind of...
Yeah.
He's been on... Everyone reckons he's going to have a breakout year like every year, I feel. Well, they're all just waiting for him. No?
Maybe this is that year. You know? They got nothing to lose.
Maybe he needs to not play there. Who knows? The halves, they got Kyle Flanagan and Ben Hunt. I mean, you kind of have to feel sorry for Ben Hunt, but at the same time, you chose to go there. I mean, you're getting paid well, so...
I just think it's karma for dropping the ball in the grand final and missing the tackle in regular time. So, hey, it's a karma. It's a karma.
True that. Their front row is Hame Saleh, Blake Lawrie, and Jacob Little for the 9. Second rower is Dan Russell and Jaden Sewer. I actually forgot him with
Yeah.
He's probably regretting it now. They got Jack DeBellin at 13. I like him. He's a classy player, I feel like. He's real good.
Serviceable ways.
14, that's where they've got Jack Bird. 15, Toby Couchman, never heard of him. 16, Francis Molo. Where was he before? Anyway, don't remember. And 17, they got Raymond Faitala Mariner. So a couple of ex-Bulldogs in that team. With our old captain Raymond there, and Flanagan with his dad. So that's the 17. Looks like it's a team that is good enough to win the wooden spoon, and I hope they do. Yeah.
Well, they got some players there that can have a breakout season. They got some players there that can play. Like it looks like a decent team on paper. Can they get their shit together and?
Yeah, you look at it right, and Tyrell Sloan, he wins. You would think Tyrell Sloan is I'd say he might be a candidate for a breakout player, but it's an important year for him, right? They've all been kind of waiting for him to take that next step. He kind of hasn't, and at one point he lost a job to that Cody Ramsey guy, the one who might have to retire now, the heart condition, and I know. I think maybe everyone gave him his flowers too early a little bit for Tyrell, and he just hasn't lived up to it, man. But now's the season, because if it's not, he might just be out the door, or they might have to look in a different direction.
Yeah, and in saying that, like, hey, if you're looking for somewhere new, mate, play out of your skin, because the Roosters might come calling in a couple of years. Tedesco ain't going to be around forever. Look, I don't know, man. This team looks like it can do some damage. It's just whether or not they can put it all together on game day. I definitely think they'll be one of those teams to look out for. I think a lot of teams might underestimate them and they might steal a few wins here and there. But yeah, basing it off of last season. And how'd they go in their preseason game?
I believe they lost, right? Because it was the charity shield game between them and Souths. It's like the traditional matchup that they always have. And I know Souths won it. Not too sure if it was
28-6.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey. When the Saints go marching on, you just... yeah. Hey, look, we've all had seasons where it's been pretty rough. I'm just lucky the Broncos are back. Not on top, but we're in a place where we should always be. The Bulldogs are looking to bounce back. The Tigers have been there. They are, You know, I think that wooden spoon's close to being named after them. So, yeah, look, it's just your guys' turn. I'll chuck it over to you to give us a review for Sharks.
Yep. So, yep, the first team that I'll be looking at tonight will be the Sharks. So, the Sharks last year finished good enough for 6th. They had with a record of 14 wins with 10 losses. They're one of the more stable teams. They didn't really. They lost a few players. The key one was Wade Graham, who retired. Connor Tracy and Matt Moylan. And they only gained 2 players, Billy Burns and Michael Gabriel, who I've never heard of. So it's a quite of a established team, I'd say. And the starting lineup looks pretty much similar to the team that they had last year. So at fullback you have Will Kennedy, on the wing, Sony Katoa and Renato Militalo, the little grub. Centres, a devastating combo of Jesse Ramey on the one side was Susifa Talakai on the other. Talakai, I'm pretty sure, still gives Morgan Harper's nightmares every time he sees him. In the halves, this would be the biggest change. You have, obviously, Nico Hines at 7, but with Moylan gone, Trindle, I'd say, and Connor Tracy gone. Trindle's now entrenched in that 6. Yeah, and pretty sure people have been calling for Trindle to be his halves partner for a long time. So now it's pretty much his, and should see how that goes. Trindle's a classy player, man, really classy. So I expect them both to do big things. In the front row, you have Toby Rudolph, Braden Hemuauele, and Blake Brayley, who I think is a really, really good hooker. He had a good season last year, and I expect nothing less from him. I expect him to, if he takes another step this year, he could be knocking on the door of that Origin. Not saying that he'll make the team, but he might make the camp. Classy player, got all the skills. So yeah, second row, Brendan Nakora and Tay Wilton. Solid pairing there. And at 13, you have the ever reliable but aging Dale Finucane, who I think maybe he's got 1 more year on his contract. And I know his contract goes down. So it's almost like half of what he's getting this year is what he's getting next year. Yeah, because that's the way they did his contract. They front loaded it so that last year was team friendly. Off the bench you have Cameron McInnes, who's not the prettiest guy you'll see, but boy does he work hard. Oregon Kafusi, Royce Hunt, and Jack Williams rounds out the team off the bench. So yeah, like I said, it's a established team, even though they lost a few players. Wade Graham, he wasn't really playing. He was injured and coming off the bench. Connor Tracy was the kind of Mr. Fix-It. And Matt Moylan, let's be honest, he didn't really have the greatest year, and I think they'll do better with Trindle. I've got here a few notes. So, rookies to watch. They've got 2 of them. They've got their, I think it's a cookie. Iro. Kaya Iro. He's been around for a few years. He's a centre. He's a big boy. And he's been knocking on the door for a little bit, but he's just stuck behind. Like I said, they got an established team. He's stuck behind Jesse Ramian, Talakai, Katoa, and Mulitalo. So he's only really got on a look in when they're injured. So yeah, but apparently he's got the goods. Like New South Wales, he rips up. Oh, New South Wales Cup, he rips up. I think he might have led that league in try scoring and got Player of the Year. So he's a classy player. He's just stuck behind some good, solid NRL players. And the other rookie to watch, if he gets a chance, will be Cade Dykes. He's looks like going to be the one to replace Will Kennedy eventually. And he's, from what I've heard, he would have already had a crack, but he's had a few injury issues. So those are 2 rookies to watch. Then key players to watch, it was probably It's Nico Hines. They go about as good as he
Yeah.
goes. He's got their team on a string. He is their leader. So if they are to go places or be, I'd say, off the back of him. Storylines to watch is how they do against top 8 teams. The last few years, they have had a not great record against top 8s, and I think last year they only won 3 games against top 8 sides. So they've kind of
Man.
got that notion that they smoke all the teams they should beat, like in their bottom 8, but then they also get smoked when they play top teams. So they need to sort that out because obviously, if you're going to go deep and take that next step and potentially win another premiership, you're going to have to beat the top 8 sides. And if you can't, then you're probably going to get bounced out in the playoffs, which is what has happened to them the last 2 years. So Craig Fitzgibbon, great coach. He's got to the playoffs twice, but 2 years in a row now, you've lost and been bounced out in straight sets. So be interesting to see where they go. If they want to take their next step, that's what they're going to have to do. You're going to have to beat the top 8 teams, and if they can't, then you might be looking at another 6th place finish and a quick playoff series.
Also think with the Sharks, though, I think this year might be the year where it's kind of just a plateau year. They don't do too much. They're nothing too exciting because next year they're welcoming in Adam Fanua-Blake. So maybe that they're preparing the team for him next season. Because are there any other big players off contract that he'll be replacing or they'll be losing in order to gain AFB?
The name that's been thrown around is Braden Hemualuele. And that's who I think there were talks that the Warriors were looking at him. But like I said,
kind of like a swap.
Yeah, maybe. Well, someone's going to have to go right, or maybe even not, because like I said, Dal Finucane's contract's pretty much, he's on pennies next year. And
yeah, which makes sense as to why they picked up AFB.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you have Nico Hines, who I think is on $1 million. Fanua-Blake, when he goes over, will be on $1 million. But yeah, no, I don't really. Be interesting to see how they go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all right.
I think that's pretty much it for the Sharkies. I would say if maybe one area of weakness would be they don't have like a utility, someone that can kind of cover heaps of spots. But I think,
yes.
Yeah. So if Hines or Trindle was to go down, I'm not too sure who they have as that backup. And even with Brayley, the days of the 80-minute hooker are kind of dying out. So maybe if you have someone to give him a little spot every now and again, which Cameron McInnes, I think he was a hooker before you turned into a prop or forward. So yeah, maybe just get themselves a utility, which they had in Connor Tracy, but they gave him to us, so thank you.
Well, there you go, Sharks fans. Plenty to look out for. Let me take a quick look at the TAB, see where they're sitting. I think they're around the middle of the pack, Sharks fans. So put in your money early because you won't want to miss out when they get bounced out in the first round. Here we go. Let's see. Now the Cronulla Sharks are sitting at $19. They're paying less than the New Zealand Warriors, but I think the Warriors jumped. I think last week they were paying 21, and now they've jumped after the weekend. I think, or it might have been on a different site that they were paying 21. But there you go, Sharks fans, $19. It's not a bad shout. Over to the other Queensland team, my least favourite Queensland team, the mighty Dolphins. The biggest thing about the Finns this season is that they've acquired a lot of talent from us. So you'll see names like Herbie, Flegler, and Averillo all joining the Dolphins. However, they look ready to roll. It's one thing they lacked last season was a bit of depth. I think they've added to that depth now. And I think they're just ready to get out and get their forwards on the front foot and then the backs will be ready to strike as soon as there's gaps. I think this team's going to have a lot of possession of the footy. I think they're going to be tiring. They're going to just keep coming at you up the middle, and there's just not a lot you're going to have to do but take it. Yeah, so let's dive into this team. With this team, it's kind of hard to say who you'd add to this team because now they've kind of filled it out. Maybe we'll get there anyway. So at 1, they've got written up here according to NRL.com. They've got Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow at number 1. On the wings, they've got Jermaine Isako and Jack Bostick. In the centres, Jake Alvarillo and Herbie Farnworth. Fuck you, Herbie. In the halves, they got Cody Nikorima and Sean O'Sullivan. Nikorima, another former Bronco in there. In the forwards, they've got Jesse Bromwich and former Bronco Thomas Flegler. And then we've got Jeremy Marshall-King in at the hooker as expected. In the second row, we've got Felice Kafusi and Jesse's brother Kenny, with Tom Gilbert at the 13. At 14, we've got Ray Stone, followed up by Jared Wallace, Connolly Lemulu, and 17 is Mark Nichols. Now, this team here lacked depth last season, but I think they have a fair bit of that now. Jared Wallace off the bench is a bloody handy tool to have off the bench. If this team could get better, it would probably be in the halves. A strong 6 or 7. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing this team. They have healthy, I think, will cause a lot of problems for everyone. The only issue is this year they won't have the chip of being the first ever Dolphins team. They've had their inaugural season. They've gone through the highs and lows of being, first time playing. So, it's going to be interesting to watch where they go this year. Players to watch. I think the players to watch will be Herbie, I think, to see how well he fits in going from the grand final to a team that, should have been in the playoffs but didn't quite get there due to injuries. So see whether or not he can bring some of that leadership from the Broncos into this side. See how Flegler goes. See if a lot of these boys can make it back to that top echelon, and can Jermaine Isako be the top point scorer again this season? So those will be the storylines to watch. With the Dolphins, I think the game of the round 6 would be the game to watch for the Dolphins. It's when they play the Broncos. So round 6, Fano. Let's have a look. What date is that? We'll go Dolphins schedule. Shit.
Did you want me to look it up?
Just jumping on it now. Dolphins NRL schedule is giving me the football one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 12th of April, which is a Friday? Yeah, Friday night. I'm assuming that's up there in Suncorp Stadium. So, look, it's going to be a big game. Kicks off 10 p.m. here in New Zealand. Definitely the game that you want to have penciled in your calendar. It's going to be a big one. Huge clash. I'm looking forward to watching Payne Haas and Thomas Flegler go at it. I'm looking forward to seeing Herbie go up against Selwyn Cobbo, who used to play outside of him. So, look, there's some matchups there that I'm really looking forward to seeing. It'll be, the hammer out there at the fullback versus Reece Walsh. So, it's gonna be a good matchup. Bring on the Brisbane Derby. And the TAB's got these guys paying $46 to make the grand final, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, I was just, when you were talking about the Dolphins, just looking at their centre pairing of Herbie Farnworth and Jake Avarillo, because I know we were not happy when Jake left Amarillo. He's a classy player, man, and to see him, I thought he might be able to push Hammer for that fullback spot, or Trbojevic, because he can kind of play everywhere. Jack Amarillo, he literally played everywhere in the backs for us, and yeah, I kind of expect him to be doing great things over there, and to have him on one side and Herbie on the other. That's a deadly combo.
The question is going to be now, how much ball do they have to give? Because they got a lot of strike power now. They can attack you through the middle. They can attack you on the edges. It's just now the game plan is, and they've got the greatest mastermind at the helm of all time. They've got the great one. So yeah, it's disappointing. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough matchup. I think this year. I think the Dolphins are really starting to make a case as to why they should get the nod. And I think Bennett, even after these 700 years of coaching NRL, he's still hungry for another title. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they get on.
One name I didn't see, I'm not too sure. So do they have Cody Nikorima over Isaiah Katoa? I thought he would have maybe been at 6.
Might be injured.
Could be. Not too sure. But because he's, when they signed him over from Penrith, he was pretty much destined to be their next half. He was the one coming through. I think
they still got him in there.
They just got Nikorima as the predicted over him.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's going to come down to preseason. Who clicks and who fires. Which would mean that Isaiah Katoa would have played in the weekend because Nikorima was playing with the Māoris.
I think he did, yeah. Not too sure how he went though.
Nah, I didn't watch that game. I do know that they won. They're, 3rd or 4th on the table because this preseason there's a certain challenge. You win $100,000. If you win the game, get X amount of tries, X amount of line breaks, and X amount of offloads. You get bonus points, and that puts you at the top of the ladder.
Oh yeah, they did. They beat the Titans 26-14.
Yeah. So, so the Knights, Raiders, Dolphins are all on 15 points. Broncos, Roosters, Bulldogs, Tigers are sitting on 14. Rabbitohs with 13. And Warriors, Eels, Titans, Storms. Oh no, sorry, just the Warriors and Eels with 1 bonus point apiece. Titans, Storm, Eagles, Dragons, Cowboys, and Sharks rank out the bottom.
How did you not get 15 points?
I don't think we hit all the offloads.
Oh.
We had the line breaks, we had the tries, we had the win, but we didn't have the offloads.
It's 10 offloads, right?
I think so. But I think Kevy's whole game plan wasn't about offloads, wasn't about line breaks. It was about just finding combinations that work.
Fair enough.
Over you for the Sea Eagles breakdown?
Yes, back to me for the Sea Eagles. A quick little preview of them when I can find the stupid team. But Sea Eagles, in terms of how they went last year, I believe they missed the playoffs. Wait for it. Yep, so they finished 12th last year with a record of 11 wins, 1 draw, and 12 losses. Their team, I think there's been a few changes from their team to last year. Just quickly bring it up. Obviously, they've got some big gains, the biggest one being Luke Brooks. He's finally out of that swallow-dullah of a Western Tigers team, and now we'll get to actually see if he is actually good or she should have went to Super League a long time ago. So that'll be, he's pretty much the main one. They got Jackson Polo, Tommy Talo, Corey Waddell, and Brandon Wakeham, 2 former Bulldogs again. Losses, they lost the Finey brothers to the Tigers. Morgan Harper, who went to the Eels. Sean Kempe, South Sydney, and Kyle Weeks, he went to the Raiders. But their starting So it's like the main changes from their teams, but this predicted lineup for round 1 again is from NRL.com. Is at the fullback number 1, Tom Trbojevic, arguably the best player in the world when he's on his day and not injured. And I don't think anyone will forget that season where he won the Dally and, as Brendan Smith put it, just pissed on everyone. At the wingers, you have Jackson Polo and Jason Saab. That is a wiry combo, both tall. I mean, Jason Saab's a giant. Centre, you have Ruben Garrick and Tolu Kola. In the halves, you have Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry Evans. Daly Cherry Evans, I'd hate to admit it, he's just still good. Feel as though he's been around for years. Still up there with the Elite Sevens. You can still win you games. His kicking has always been excellent. He can take the team around the park. He's just an out-and-out 7. He's been doing it, feels like forever. And I feel what makes him good is that he doesn't really have bad games. It seems like he's just solid all the time. And that's... As long as he's there controlling the ship, they kind of have a shot. Luke Brooks, talked about him. We don't know how he's going to go. It'll be interesting to see how he does. Maybe it was the West Tigers' fault that whole time. We'll find out. The front row, they have Sipley, but I believe that's going to change because he... He's got a suspension. I think he got 3 games for something that he did in the preseason. Taniela Paseka and Lachlan Croker is the hooker. The second row, you have a combo of Olakauatu, who's just a beast, and Schuster. Schuster is someone who they have big plans for him. He's a young gun. On his day, he can win you a game, but off his day, he can also lose you a game. Obviously, he's been shifted out because of Luke Brooks coming in. He's on big coin. And honestly, I think he's the X factor. If he plays well, he just brings a whole different dynamic. But if he doesn't, then they could be in trouble. And at 13, you have the ever reliable Jake Trbojevic. Dude just does what he does. He makes yards. He doesn't miss tackles. And his hands are so good. I know people talk about Isaiah Yeo and Cam Murray, but I have him up there with his ball-playing ability just as good as they are. To round out the bench, they got Jake Arthur, Josh Aloye, the third Trbojevic brother, and at 17, Aitasi James, who I don't know who that is. Storyline to watch is also keyed up with the key player. It's Turbo. When he plays, they're a top 8 team, it seems. Could push for a top 4, but when he's not playing, it's not saying that they're not good, but he's just so good. He just makes them, you generally think they can win a premiership with him. So when he's not there, his loss is just, you can tell. And I think it's because he brings so much confidence to them. When he's playing well, he puts them on their front foot. He does stuff that no one else can do. And it brings everyone else up because I feel as though they feel more confident, right? He's going to cover you and he's just going to almost do everything. So when he's not there, they can definitely tell. So that's really the storyline for them is the health of Turbo. I think if he's healthy, they get in top 8. But it's a big if. And if he's not, they'll be thereabouts.
He's such a great player, eh? He's such a great player, but he's just been so unfortunate. He's injured so often, and they're quite severe injuries. So, touch wood, you never want to see a strong New South Welshman go through that kind of pain year in and year out. We definitely need him this season. Him, Trell, we need those two. Dylan Edwards, Nico Hines, Pap, we need them all. We need them all to be ready and available. But yeah, look, this Manly side looks strong. How do you think they're going to go against the Bunnies over in Las Vegas for round 1?
I think they'll go... Okay, I'd probably still favour the Rabbitohs. But, you never know over there if if Turbo's healthy and he wants to put on the show, we could be in for a hell of a game. But I think we're simply getting that suspension But they do have depth. They've got Nathan Brown, who I think they re-signed, and they've got Mr. Lodge, who I'm not too sure if he's upgraded to the top 30, if he's in a development contract, so he has to wait for or he's in that training trial, so he can't play until round 10 or something, whatever that dumb rule is. So they do have depth, but it is I want to say aging squad. Yeah, I think if Turbo is on the field, they got a shot. If Schuster plays like we know Schuster can, I think this team will be pretty dangerous. You got Olo Koato on that other side who just smokes people. Trbojevic holding it down in the middle. Croker's been good for them. He's been a serviceable 9. So he's been solid. And again, Sherry Evans, just as cool, calm, collected as he is. If we get unlock Lou Brooks, all of a sudden they go from a top 8 team to probably a top 4 team. But yeah, a lot of ifs.
I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Luke Brooks this season. And like you say, this will definitely be telling whether or not he's a Super League player or the Tigers are a Super League team. So this will be the telltale signs. So Vince, strap in, brother, because you're about to either be very disappointed or you're going to be like, I told yous.
Been telling yous for years.
Yeah, look, exciting season for Manly fans. They've got lots to look forward to if their team can stay healthy. Those Trbojevic brothers, all 3 of them are bloody spectacular. Let's just see if they can put it all together and come out on the other end.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much it for the Seagulls and for my teams. I'll hand it back over to you for the last review.
Easy. So we've got the Knights now. Ponga has set his eyes on being in career best form this year. He's coming off a Dally M season and he wants to lock in that number 1 jersey for Queensland and put his case forward for that green and gold jumper at the end of the year. Can he do it? The question is out. Can he do it? Well, he's going to need a strong supporting cast to help him make sure that he stays concussion free, because he's only a couple of concussions away from retirement, the poor bro. So that is going to be something to look out for. There's lots of new faces, but expect preseason to help narrow down the combinations and find the diamonds in the rough that they are looking for. Look, they'll be hungry to go further this season, so let's check out the squad. They've got Kalyn Ponga at the 1, Tom Jenkins and Greg Marju on the wing, which he's going to be one to look out for, Mr. Marju. In the centres, they got Maumori Tangegoi and Bradman Best. In the halves, now this is where they're going to have a positional battle for that number 6, but at the moment they've got Tyson Gamble starting with just Jackson Hastings. Why was that so hard to say? Jackson Hastings in the 7 jersey. The front row looks like Daniel Saifiti, Leo Thompson, and that hooker we've got Jaden Brayley. The second row we've got Tyson Frizzell, Dylan Lucas, and Adam Elliott locking down that lock position. Off the bench, Phoenix Crossland, Jacob Saifiti, Jack Hetherington, and Jed Cartwright. Now, they lost Dominic Young to the Roosters, Lachlan Fitzgibbon to the Wolves, Fa'amanu Brown to Hull FC, and Kurt Mann to Tukoirangi's Bulldogs. Big losses, but they've brought in Kai Pearce-Paul. I was trying to say Paul Pierce just because of the NBA. Kai Pearce-Paul, Will Price, Jack Cogger, Jed Cartwright, and Tom Jenkins are the new signings for the Knights. But that positional battle that I was alluding to, Tyson Gamble does look like he has been given first choice at 5'8". However, they've got Jack Cogger coming in. So, yeah, we'll see whether or not Adam O'Brien sees Gamble as the long-term 6. Because, Cogger, after that grand final cameo, after the Panthers lost Jerome Luai, just showed that, he's solid, and he's, like many other Panthers players, ready just to shine on a team that they can make their own. So whoever's handed that number 6 jersey in round 1, competition in the halves is always healthy, and it's going to be a good thing for the Knights fans. I think the round to watch for Newcastle will be round 4, Sunday 31st of March, and that is against the mighty New Zealand Warriors. Up the Wars. Now, the only reason I say that is because it was the Warriors who last year bounced them out in the playoffs, so whether or not they can get that revenge back. And I think they won a piece last year. The Warriors won one, and the Knights won one, and then the Warriors went up in the playoffs. So it'll be a good game to watch. I think that, Kalyn Ponga, he's gotten a few more weapons on the side, so you might see a few more try assists, just setting up the game a bit more, and utilising his speed and his agility to get around players. He's a fun player to watch. Daniel Saifiti, another good strong forward. He'll be ready to try and put his hand up and get up into Origin. Tyson Frizzell, solid as always. Lots of positives for Knights fans. Can you guys break into the top 4? Not quite certain. Top 8? Yeah, I think you'd be there or thereabouts. But lots to look forward to in the Knights season. The TAB has you down at $23, so although I believe in you, the TAB doesn't. Take with that what you will, Knights fans. But hey, I'm looking forward to round 4, Sunday, 31st of March at, what is it? It's not Mount Smart anymore. Let's Go Media Stadium.
Yeah.
Go Media, yeah. Up there in Tamaki Makaurau. So, Knights fans, if you're in Aotearoa, head on up there to be a bloody good old derby. 31st, bro, that's next month.
That's
true.
Well,
hey, who knows? I might head up there for that one. I'll definitely be up there for the Broncos game. That's in the middle of the year though. I think like round 20 something. It's high teens anyway. But yeah, I might go up to that one. That'd be a good game to go to actually. Just do a day trip, fly up, fly back. What's your thoughts on this Newcastle side, brother?
I'd say they're about go as good as that Kalyn Ponga dude goes. So if he's having another Dalian-worthy season, then I'm guessing they'll be there. But if he's not, or he's like Turbo, wants to be injured again, it's probably not going to go their way. Also, the 9, that's hopefully he can stay healthy, because he's another one that seems to be made of glass. Because he's had like 2, I think his last 2, maybe 3 seasons have all been cut short due to injury. And he's a big part of their team here. That's all Blake Brayley's older brother, I believe. Because he used to play for the Sharks, but then he left to the Knights. I don't know if he left or he was pushed, but then they had Blake coming through anyway, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, he's a class 9, just wants to always be injured. And if he is, I guess Phoenix Crossland will just take over that posse again, because Kurt Mann won't be doing it. Shame. But yeah.
Yeah, nah. Knights fans, I feel like I've been saying that all day today, but there are some good teams. I think it's just the Dragons that we have no hope for. But there are some good teams, and I think this year is just going to be the toughest year. There's solid competition throughout the paper. Like there's going to be a clear-cut top 4, but I think the rest of the 8, it's going to be a free-for-all battle, and I think it's going to extend out to the 14. So between 6 down to 14, good luck.
Yeah, well, we hope it is right. Like, we hope it's a good comp this year. Last year was good. You just had those 2 clear-cut teams, the Broncos and Penrith, and might still be some of the same. But yeah, those other teams, getting into that 8 is going to be hard. Because, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think there's probably 14 teams that genuinely believe they can make it. Well, everyone, hopes they can make it, but we're being realistic. There's definitely a few teams that don't really have a shot at it, or I don't think they do.
Nah.
Yeah.
look, it's a great season. Preseason's already kicked off. We've seen some fantastic games over the weekend, and we look forward to watching a few more this weekend. We'll talk about those upcoming games on our Thursday show, so make sure that you guys come back Thursday. I think all episodes release at about 12:30, so make sure you guys come on back 12:30, so it's ready for you guys to listen to on your way home from work, or if you want to listen to it on your way to work on Friday morning to get you hyped and ready for the weekend's action of footy. We just want to give a huge shout out, ngā mihi nui, to our sponsors of this video, 99 Dreams. If anyone else wants to sponsor us, shout out, man. We are looking for sponsors. We need to keep the ball rolling. We need to give the brothers a reason. We need to give Vince a reason to come on the show with the boys. So, yeah, look, shout out to 99 Dreams for sponsoring our videos, as always, keeping us entertained, and hopefully we're keeping you guys entertained. Any other messages before we start to wrap things up, brother, about our teams that we've just gone over?
No, not really. I'm just glad that league's finally back, and can't wait for the season to finally kick off, man. Been waiting a long time for it. So, yeah.
How good's rugby league? Yeah. 100%. And on Thursday's show, be sure to tune in, because we are ticking off the last 4 teams on the list. We will be looking at the West Tigers, the Penrith Panthers, the mighty Broncos, and of course Two's beloved Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So make sure you guys tune in for that, because we got some opinions and some facts to speak on that. I'll also get to talk about some of the rookies like Te Kura. I'll also get to touch on Tristan Sailor. Where does he fit? So there's lots of key players at the Broncos that we get to dive into a little bit more. Yeah, so look forward to that. So tune in again on Thursday here with myself and Tuko Hirangi. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. Anything else before we got to wrap things up, bro?
Yeah, man. Just tune in on Thursday. Oh, you know where to be when the potty drops. Get in there and support your boys. Hopefully we'll get Vince on eventually, hear what the brother has to say, or else we're just going to keep ripping out his team, the Tigers, because they're trash anyway. Shout out to the Dragons. I hope you guys suck and keep win that wooden spoon. But on that whānau, shot for hanging out with us tonight, to the bro, and I'll see you guys all on, what, Thursday? Thursday, eh?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday. The practice run will be back on Thursday. Click like, subscribe, comments. Leave some comments for the Cuzzies. Hopefully we can read out some comments in the coming weeks. That'll be awesome. So please leave us some love. Comments for the Cuzzies. Do all of that. Hit the bell notification icon if it's on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, or whatever, just make sure you like our thing. Subscribe to our podcast, so then you'll get notified whenever a new episode drops. We're dropping 2 every week, whānau. How good is that? And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. I'm working on getting some guests on. We're going to probably do like a practice run with some guests, just so Tu and I can get used to interviewing people. We've got lots planned for you guys. We just need to try and get some sponsors on board, so we can get, help keep the lights on a little bit and keep you guys engaged. But to do that, we need you guys to comment, subscribe, like, and leave us some love. Other than that, I'll throw it off to you too, Koirangi, to close us off. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate you guys. And shout out 99 Dreams. This is the practice run.
So, whānau, see you on Thursday. Tur to the church and mā te wā.